As we turn to another ongoing war, Russia's war on Ukraine, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is today in Kyiv on an unannounced visit to show solidarity with Ukraine amid an increasingly intense new Russian offensive. And we have new pictures into us this morning. Blinken has met with Ukrainian President Volodmyr Zelenskyy and the country's foreign minister today. It is the first visit by a senior U.S. official since Congress passed its finally approved $61 million military aid package back in April. The U.S. says new supplies of artillery, air defense interceptors, long-range ballistic missiles, they have already been delivered. Julia Chapman is in our London bureau following the story for us today. And Julia, military aid deliveries are really front and center today in those talks between Antony Blinken and Volodymyr Zelenskyy. What are we hearing about what they've discussed thus far, and what really are the overall goals and expectations for this Blinken visit?
Well, Antony Blinken says this trip aims to underscore the U.S.'s unwavering support for Ukraine. He's meeting Ukrainian officials to get battlefield updates, an assessment of the impact of the latest aid deliveries, and also discuss some economic progress in Ukraine. He said in his introductory remarks this morning, alongside the Ukrainian president, that a strong Ukraine is the best rebuke to President Vladimir Putin. And as you say, this visit coincides with the latest deliveries of military aid from the U.S. He says they are already making a difference on the battlefield and will continue to do so. And of course, this comes amid this renewed offensive, this fresh offensive in the northeast Kyiv region by Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy thanked the U.S. for its latest aid package, saying it was crucial to the war effort. But he did reiterate that there is a serious need in Ukraine for more air defenses, particularly in the second city, Kyiv, which is coming under pressure from this new offensive.
And we've been talking about Kyiv. I mean, Ukraine, Julia, has been dealing with weapon shortages for months now, and Russian forces seem to be seizing on that with this latest offensive. We touched on Kyiv in your reporting yesterday, Julia. We certainly have seen it receiving heavy shelling and intense fighting. What is the latest on the situation in that key city?
Well, this morning, Russia has claimed to take control of the north and the west of the town of Vovchansk. There's heavy fighting going on there. Over the weekend, Russian forces said they had held 9 villages along the border. So certainly an intensity going on right now as Ukraine deploys its troops to that region. But Ukrainian officials say the situation is under control. Nevertheless, they have acknowledged today they've had to move back from certain positions in the region because of the intensity of Russian bombardment. Local officials say more than 7,000 people have now been evacuated from parts of the Kyiv region as fighting continues, really underscoring the seriousness of the situation there, which the UN Human Rights Commissioner has described as dire.
Julia Chapman, thank you very much. It is day 811 of the war between Russia and Ukraine. One of the things you should know this morning.